Hello, welcome, everybody. Welcome. Happy Saturday of May 11th of 2024. Welcome. This is a reading that I'm going to impose about what kind of energies are out there, what's happening, if there's any emotions or going to drive you crazy, whatever it is. But this is a very interesting way of I'm going to tell you about what's happening, because this seems to be very logical explanation. Okay, it's the way of how you can look at the way how it seems to be, knowing that this is a priority of how it goes, and this is how it seems to be. So normally, I know that I don't even do a Celtic cross here, but I think I will, because I think it's the simplest way of knowing what to do and how it goes. So this is like a way of how to know about how things are and how it is, and I'm going to basically do all the cards that I can think of, and then I'm going to see what's happening, because this is a way of knowing what to do and knowing that how it is, and this is how it seems to be, because my own explanation that this is a wonderful way of how it goes, but this is truth be told, because in that way this is how it seems to be, because I never did a reading like this, but in my own estimation that this is what it seems to be, and I hope all of you enjoy this reading. Okay, so here we go. So basically you have the Ace of Pentacles that's reversed because there is no new beginning. You have the Hermit card that's reversed because you already have a soulmate. You have the Page of Pentacles that's over here that I'm going to just slide this over. And you have the Nine of Cups that's reversed. So there is something that was happening in this situation. But you have the Page of Cups that's reversed, and then you have the Star that's reversed. So these two are reversed, as you can see. Okay. Yeah, the King of Cups is upright, and they have the Empress. Yeah, so the Empress can be like where someone's getting pregnant, someone's having a child, whatever it is. Yeah, the King of Cups. So you could be, acknowledging where you could be Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer, water signs. You could be imposing an earth sign would be Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus, in some way, somehow. But the reverse cards kind of seems to be appealing, where they're all different, right? It's the way of how you can look at the way how it seems to be, but this is how it is, right? It's the criteria of how it goes, and you have to be moderate, It's the way of how you can do it, but the plush bowl situation is where you have to look at everything. Okay, so you think that this is a very good estimation, but this is how it is. So I'm going to clarify with these cards, because this is a big huge reading I can impose. But I'm going to look at the reverse cards because they seem to be very intense, but this is how it seems to be. So this is how it's going to go. So I'm going to see this as a way of how it seems to be. So let's start off. So the other Queen of Wands is upright because you could be dealing with another Leo, Aries, Sagittarius. Then you have basically this card over here. You have the Chariot that's reversed, right? So it's reversed, actually, not upright. But this is what it seems to be. Okay, so like it could be upright this way, but when I look at it, it's like reversed on my end. You have the Page of Wands that's reversed. So I'm going to show you, because it's basically, it tells me that it's an upright card, but it's reversed as well. Right, so you can see that. You have the Six of Swords that's reversed. Interesting. Followed by, the Six of Wands is upright. Yeah, see, you're going to a party. Maybe you could be dealing with another, a Leo, Aries, Sagittarius, another fire sign. So, there's lots of ways that you could be celebrating. There's ways of how you can be in control and how your emotions are. But you see it as a wonderful feeling, right? Nothing is possible to make it possible. Now, the Chariot and the Six of Swords, I'm going to put one of the cards, and I'm going to see what's happening. So let's see. Okay, so you have the Justice, that's reversed because you're not being justice, right? You're not being the Justice League. Very funny, right? So this is how it seems to be for that one. Now, crossed by, the Queen of Wands is upright and the Six of Wands is upright. There's something between the Chariot and the Page of Wands is upright. Okay, so this is a very estimation, okay, because in that theory, this is how it is. So I wanted to see what's happening between these two. And we have Three of Wands reversed is there's no communication. Okay, so this is interesting. You're not communicating, you're not getting along. Okay? So I can see it. I can see it down the way where everything is gonna flip. Okay? Because emotions are gonna flip and you're not enticing to get along, and that's fine. But you have to know exactly how it is, right? So this is what it seems to be. Overall, I know that there was some kind of estimation of how it goes. I'm going to clarify that card, please. The Six of Pentacles is upright. Yeah, so you could be dealing with another Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus in some way, somehow. So, what's missing here is the air signs, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. You're missing those. Because in that aspect, it's like you're looking for money, you want to do something with your life, and that's fine. But there's a logical explanation of this. Now, what's being said is that you have to know exactly what's happening, because the truth is and what truth does, right? So I want to see what's the opposite of the Justice card. The Four of Earth is being too various or too cautious with money. Good business decisions, giving to those less fortunate. Yeah, so you could be helping out with people that you're going to do it, right? It's like you're helping, and you're processing, and you're doing what you can, because in order to identify this whole entire reading, it's basically the way of how it is. It's like a 50-50 chance, right? It's like when you're getting pregnant, it could be a 50-50 chance for a boy or a girl. You never know, right? So it's like you have to remember that you have to remain society. Remember about being positive, not the negative. Look at your ways of knowing what to do. It's a way of how you can look at it from a different way. It's like you're trying to have the moment, right? And you have to do that. It's like a play-by-play situation. You have to know from what your strengths are, what your weaknesses are, and you have to do that, right? It's the way of how it is. It's like a play-by-play situation, right? It's like you have to know what's happening, what's going on, and you have to be positive, not the negative, right? And yes, you don't want to communicate, but in a way, you have to communicate. You have to work together as a team. There's no I in team, but you have to know exactly how that is. Because the whole entire reading, that you can look at this is a whole entire reading, right? Because it's not over yet. So we can see that as the logical explanation. Now, what simply is about the Page of Wands, the King of Cups, and the Empress, I'm going to clarify. I'm going to clarify because I want to see what's happening. And let's see. Yeah, the Fool, that's reversed because there's no change, or no change in this situation, because you are the same as it is in one way or another, right? Because you think that everything is fine and everything is all great, but no matter how it is, you have to look at it from yourself. Look at it from a different way in order to understand that. The Lovers, that's upright. Yeah, because you're in love with somebody. You could be loving with, a Pisces, a Cancer, Scorpio. You could be in love with another Leo. You could be in love with another Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus. So it's like you're trying to do the right thing, but impossibly, it's like this is a wonderful feeling, right? It's a way of how you can impose that situation. It's a way of how you can do that as long as it needs to. So by theory, this is how it goes. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to put 2 cards here. Let's see. So I have the Magician is upright because, you're being the magician. You want to have the magic powers of how it goes. And you have the 8 of Pentacles, that's reversed because you're not being valued of how it goes, right? Because you think that everything was fine, dandy, and what have you, and things are going to change as what happens, right? Because you're intensely to be in love and whatever, and you're trying to do your best, but this is how it seems to be because you're trying to make it happen. And you have the Emperor, that's the reverse because you have no structure. That's interesting because you're trying to improve that you will have what you want to do. But the thing is like you have to imply that situation, right? What's up about that card, please? The 2 of Cups is upright. Yeah, because you know that it could be a friendship situation, it could be a relationship with somebody, and this is very, very good, right? It's the way of how you can be, the way of how it goes, right? Because look at this whole entire reading. It does make sense, but in order to do that, it's like you have to face your own reality. Right? It's the way of how you can do that, the way how you can put yourselves into perspective. You have to look at you have to look at yourself and say, am I doing this right? And there are possibilities out there that you can be, logical estimation of how it goes, right? It's the way of how you can see it and believe in it and understand of how it seems to be. It's the way of how you can look at it. Look at it on the here, the now. Look at the, before and after picture. That's how it goes, right? Because you have to be satisfied. You know what's going to happen, So in theory, you have to look at that. So let's see what the Queen of Wands is. And put 2 cards over there. This is what the universe is saying. The Knight of Cups is upright. Yeah, see, you're focusing the ability to know from right and wrong, because you could be thinking about another Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer in some way, somehow. And you had the High Priestess, that's reversed. That's interesting. I'll clarify with that card. So there's something that was kind of uptight. Let's also about that card, please. The 4 of Cups is upright, means Distraction, yeah, because you're being distracted. You know, because all of this is like a distraction for you. You know, it's the way of how you can do that. It's the ability to know from right and wrong. And, you know, it's the way of how you can be satisfied. Because this is a lovely reading after all. But it's never easy because everything is, you know, how it is unexpected. Because if you are having the Empress and you're getting yourself pregnant or whatever, you have to look at your basics. You have to look at the family situation, the relationships, everything else that you can think of, right? Because when you do that, you exactly what it feels, right? So this is a very lovely, interesting way of how it goes. But let's see what the universe is saying. So I want to clarify that. And let's see. The world that's reversed because you have incompletion. And you have the Two of Pentacles is upright because you're balancing two things at once, right? So, you know, it's the way of how you can do that as long as it needs to. Everything is kind of like, you know, you have a distraction for a feeling. You have the incompletion because everything is incompleted, you know. It doesn't make any sense. Because the logical estimation is like you know from right and wrong. Because everything does make sense, doesn't it? Yes. But let's continuing. Because the universe is saying something. The Queen of Pentacles that's reversed, yeah, there's no stability. There's no. Because, you know, if you're being the lover and, you know, everything has to be all, you know, based on that. But if you are looking for yourself and say that, you know, you have a distraction or you're being distracted and, you know, you have to be acting like you need to do it, right? You have to face your own reality. You know, you have to think about what's happening. Let's talk about that card, please. The Nine of Wands is upright. Yeah. See, you could be focused on another, you know, Leo, Aries, Sagittarius. So it's like, you know, there's all 9 zodiac signs in this picture. It's a big, huge reading. You know, it's the way of how you can do it. It's the way of knowing about, you know, exactly from how you can do that. Because I'm going to say this. Nothing is impossible to make it possible. And you have to look at it from a different way. You know, you have to think that this is like a puzzle. You know, you have to remember about your strengths, your weaknesses, your emotions, everything else. But you have to believe in yourself that you can do it. As long as it is, you have to remember that this is the way of how it goes. You have to think clearly to understand that. Just the way that I'm wearing my cardigan, okay? It's the patterns that I like. It makes me, you know, warm inside, you know? And that's how it is. And it makes me all happy all of a sudden. So you look at it from a different way. You have to know that you can improve yourself. You have to believe in yourself. You can do whatever you can. Because that's what it seems to be. So this reading is almost over. So you have to remember that this is a wonderful feeling of how it goes. Because you look at this, right? Because you look at how it was and how you can figure it out, right? And you can see that. So you can look at this and say, okay, am I doing this right? Well, not necessarily, because the thing is that that's how it is. Now, let's see if I can continuing on about what the universe is still saying, because the universe has ways. So I'm going to clarify again. I love the word clarifying. So let's see. The Two of Wands, that's reversed. Okay. Alright. The Ace of Cups is upright because you're feeling like there's a new beginning. And the Eight of Cups is upright. Yeah, because you're thinking about another Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer. Because you're trying to remember that there is always a way of how it goes. You're on the right path, I can tell. But you have to face your own abilities from knowing from right and wrong, right? Because you can think about that. You can think about that resist, right? So let's see what's else about that card, please. The Lovers, that's reversed. Yeah, see, because you already have, like, you're not in love anymore because you already have the Lovers, right? You found the ability to have the Lovers, right? And you are in love. But the thing is that when you have no Lovers here and you have Lovers here, this is a way of how it is, right? You have to remember that this is a very interesting way of knowing what to do, right? Because there's a logical explanation for everything. Pretty soon this reading is almost over, but I'm going to still clarify a few more. So let's see. Yeah, the Chariot, that's reversed. Yeah. Followed by, yeah, the Nine of Swords, that's upright. Yeah, see? Now you wanting another Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. But see, this Chariot, you could be getting off the carriage. Maybe that could be the Chariot, I don't know. But this is what it seems to be. You have to know from how it is, one way or another, that you have to look at. This is a good reading so far. And you know that possibilities that, you can think about how everything was. Right? You can see it in order to believe it. What's else about that card, please? The Ten of Swords reversed is, there's no conclusions. Okay. That doesn't explain anything. But how would that be? How would that be in that situation? Let's see what's else said. The Sun, that's reversed. Yeah, because you're in darkness. You don't have the light. No, because everything is in darkness and you think that everything is going from a different way. Yeah. It's a way of how you can do that. It's a way of knowing what to do. Let's else about that card, please. The Seven of Swords is upright. Yeah, see? Because you want another Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. So we actually have all 12 zodiac signs in this picture. Fire signs, earth signs, water signs, air signs. Exactly how it is. Because now everything is kind of unfolding, like, like unfolding, you have to look at it from a different way in order to understand about this way of how this reading went. It's like you doing from one card to another card, and now everything is kind of unfolding, right? And you have to know from how it is. It's knowing from right and wrong in that situation, right? If you're in love and yes, you're going to, maybe have a baby or something like that, you have to remember that you have to know exactly what's happening, what's the timing, what's how long it is, whatever it is, right? You have to know that this could be, maybe you're having a menopause situation, maybe you're having that distraction, whatever it is. You have to think about something, right? And you have to feel the right moment. Seeing is believing, believing is seeing. That's all you can do. But in order to that, you have to believe about yourself, or believe about this whole entire reading that I just did. It's the way of how you can do that. It leads to that way of knowing what to do. You have to know from how you're going to do it and what's going to happen. You have to go from the start, the middle, and end, just like a story, right? You have to know exactly how it is, because this is like almost the divine timing. Or maybe you are manifesting something, maybe, but you can figure it out. This is how it seems to be. I'm just telling you what the cards are saying, but this is a huge, explanation of how everything is, right? It's the way of how you can believe in yourself to do what you can, We're almost done with this reading. So this is how it seems to be. Okay, so you understand that how it is, right? You have to remember that this is a way of how the outlook is. But I understand that. I understand that there was something that was happening. It's the way of how you can do that. So let's see. Let's see what the universe is saying. So you have the Nine of Wands is upright because you have fear. Yeah, okay. You have the Death reverses. There's no release, like there's no ending. And you have the Three of Swords reversed because there's no heartbreak. Okay, I can understand that. But you're having fear. That's interesting. Having fear. Is there something that I need to remember how it goes? Is there something? The star that's reversed because you're not wishing upon of something. The Four of Swords is upright because you're taking a break. I can understand that. What's opposite of that star? The Emperor that's reversed. What's behind that? What's behind? The Seven of Swords is upright is deceit. Oh, I see. This is interesting. So now you figure out something that happened to you, and now you're deceiving because it's like you're fearing that you were pregnant, but then it could be a false. Interesting. That's very interesting. Let's also about that card, please. The Two of Cups, that's reversed, so there's no friendship. So no friendship, no relationship. Then why in the world that you have the Empress that is upright means that you were like being pregnant, whatever it is, but then you have no relationship? Wow, this is like messed up. Because you were having fear, you were thinking that you were pregnant, but then you're not. You thought that you were in love with somebody, then you're taking a break because you're having fear, and now you have no friendship whatsoever, no relationship. It kind of bothers me. Tell me something that's the opposite of that. Two of Cups. Ace of Wands is upright. There's new beginnings. Okay, I get it. So now you have new beginnings now, because everything is changing. Everything is changing for a reason, and in that reason, this is very unbelievable. But in the way of how it goes, you have to look at it from a different way. Okay. I understand that. So let's see what's the universe is going to say. Let's see. So you have the King of Swords that's reversed. The Knight of Pentacles is upright because you're having victory on your side. The Three of Cups is upright because you are the ability to have, maybe you're probably having a third party in this situation. So you're thinking that there was something that was imposed in that situation, because the Three of Cups is like you're thinking that you're missing out on something. But basically you're having a third party. Okay, I understand that perfectly clear. So what's the opposite of that card? The Ten of Pentacles that's reversed. So you didn't lose everything. Or you had everything, but then you're losing everything. You're losing faith. You're losing your abilities. Okay, so I understand how it is now. But doesn't it give me like a way of how this whole entire reading is? Like I want to see it. I want to understand of how this is. What the universe is saying between these three cards. So the Knight of Pentacles that's reversed because there's no trust. Okay. Five of Cups reversed, there's no grief. Interesting. Yeah, the Knight of Wands is upright, or reversed is no maturity. Oh, you're being immature. Okay. Is there anything else I can think of? Is there anything else on what the universe is saying? The sun is upright, so now you're into light now. Okay. The King of Wands, that's reversed. The Ten of Coins is upright because you want everything that's happening. Is there anything else that I can think of this whole entire reading? The Ace of Fires, an exciting new opportunity, career advancement, change your life new. Okay, so I understand that. So this is all based on a fire sign. Leo, Aries, Sagittarius. I just want to figure out about this 10 of coins here. Between the King of Cups upright and that Empress. I just want to see it. Let me clarify this card, please. The Emperor, that's upright. Okay, so you know how it was. Is you're thinking that you're having the magic touch. I can see that. I can see that happening between dark and light. So is there anything else that I can think of? Okay, I want to see what's clarifying. The King of Cups is upright. What's else about that card? And then what's the Empress about in this whole entire reading? Who's doing this? So I'm just going to clarify with that card, and I'll clarify this card. Let's see. Page of Wands is upright because there's invention. Okay. And the Moon is upright because you misinterpretation. I see. So this is like illusion. So you're being illusioned because there was something that was happening in this situation. I want to clarify again. I want to clarify one more card. One more. Between the middle of this Page of Wands and the Moon. The Queen of Swords is upright. I still want to clarify that card. Let's see. Opposite that card, please. The King of Pentacles, that's reversed. Okay. Followed by that card. King of Pentacles, that's reversed, so the same thing. Okay. Okay. Tell me something that'd be the last one that does this. Who's doing it? So I wonder if this is like how it is. King of Earth is generous, professional, responsible, practical. A successful time. Confidently accept opportunities you are offered. The Midas touch. Wow. So you could be focusing on another Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus. Wow. So this is a very messed up reading, because if this was basically, in my own standards, if it's basically divine man and divine woman, it could be that. It could be where the Empress was, being a Virgo, and maybe Aries or Leo or Sagittarius or being like the man situation. It doesn't really matter. But there are things that are trying to remember, like where if there was a divine woman and divine man, there are two different energies, right? And this is like almost crossed by, because you think that there was something that was very, unhealthy, where you were being like, you're having distraction, you were having everything that you decide to do. But then when you have the misinterpretation of everything, and you know that you weren't being pregnant, whatever, and there was false alarm or everything else, it's the saddening part where you used to be pregnant and then you're not. Or maybe you were faking it. It doesn't really matter. But divine women and divine man, there are two different energies, It's one's being a fire and one's being, earth. They don't get along, right? And if you're a man who's, let's say you were a Leo, or if you were the woman and you were Virgo, there are things that you're trying to remember to discover something. You have to remember that this is a way of how to do it. It's like connecting the dots, You have to connect them to understand about how this whole entire picture is, You have to remember this. This is a very subtle situation of how everything is going to go. It's one foot put in, how it is, right? One foot forward, one step back, whatever it is, right? You have to understand that, because this is what the universe is saying, is where you were in darkness, now you're in light, and you think about the positive, not the negative, right? So you have to combine on what you're looking for. If you're thinking that you're, think about yourself and understand who you are and what you're going to be, and you're looking at the 5 W's, is who, what, where, when, why, and sometimes how in that situation. It's the way of how everything is. It's, in theory, this is what is going to be happening, because you have to believe in yourself. You have to understand that, right? This is how it's going to go. So you think about it. You think about how this reading is going to go. And before I let you all go, pay attention to understand this, because if this reading happens to you all and you understand about how everything is, you have to go with the flow. Maybe you don't get along. Maybe you're going to get along. But you have this some sort of way of how it goes. If you have a distraction, if you, getting distracted or whatever it is, you have to think of something, something to do rather than having nothing to do, right? And you have to think about the positive, not the negative, right? So you have to remember that this is a way of how it goes. If you waving the white flag and surrender or something like that, you have to know what's happening. Because in order to identify and understand this is how it's going to go. It's a play-by-play situation. And you have to remember that this is a way of knowing what to do. It's the way of knowing about what's going on, who's doing this, you have to remember that. It's how you're going to look at it from a different way. Okay? So, I hope that this reading helps you. I hope everything will be fine. And understand this. If this was a divine woman, a divine man, maybe you can look at that. Maybe you can think about how it seems to be for you. But this is a very how it is, because I think from 1 zodiac sign to 12 zodiac signs, this is huge. Okay? So, you have to know how it is, and this is how it seems to be. So thank you so much. Have a wonderful time, and I'll see you next time. So remember how it goes, okay? So give it a like, give it a comment, and I'll see you next time. Thank you so much. Bye for now. Really. Bye.